Right now on Denver7 News at 6 a.m., more mask mandates start to disappear in metro counties.
I'm Denver7's Colette Bortle. On thousands of students will return to school today mask-free, and another county health board will consider dropping their mandate later today.
Plus, with sky-high inflation, your go-to products may not be the best buy anymore. Why even store labels aren't immune.
And a hometown win for the LA Rams. This morning, we're diving into the Colorado connections to this year's Super Bowl winners.
It's been a crazy 365 days. It just doesn't seem real, you know. God is good, man.
Oh, Von Miller, we miss him.
Yeah, so happy for him.
I know,
this
it was
morning.
great to see him doing well, but I'm sure it brought back a lot of Super Bowl memories for Broncos fans. We're going to hear from Von here in a little bit.
You guys tired? You stay up, watch the game, and
As soon as the last play, boom, I'm in bed.
It was a great game, though. Came down to the final.
I was wearing my 58 all night long in support of.
All night.
Glad he won. We've got a beautiful start. It is going to be a gorgeous couple of days. Happy Valentine's Day, by the way, too. Low 30s this morning, close to about 52 by noon. We're going to be close to 60 this afternoon, and we're in for a lot of sunshine statewide. Upper 30s and low 40s for the mountains. Keensburg 53 today. Denver right around 60. Highlands Ranch, you're going to be in the upper 50s too, so we've got some really mild conditions from the mountains to the plains, and again, lots of sunshine. Take a look at some of those statewide highs. Close to 60 near Pueblo and La Junta, more 40s and even some 50s out west. Grand Junction today, a high of 52. So it's going to be a dry day today. Let's fast forward that futurecast about, just about 48 hours from right now. 6 o'clock Wednesday morning, we're going to start to see some snow pushing from the mountains to the plains. That next storm is going to bring with it snow by midweek. It's going to get a lot colder too. I'll show you that coming up on our Super 7 Day here in just a few minutes.
And I've been talking about this crash here on southbound Santa Fe at Oxford, just after Hamden here this morning, and we have it still closed down. It looks like you still see some delays coming from Hamden all the way through here. A viewer sent me this video just a moment ago. You can see all the police activity here, and so what folks are doing, having to go right onto Oxford, go down to Notches Court, which is that next road, and then they were trying to do a U-turn, but one of those big articulated, those RTD buses, the long ones with the like the second section, it's actually stuck in here as he couldn't make the U-turn, and so we do have, unfortunately, now a delay in that alternate route as well. So the southbound side of Santa Fe still delayed here because of that crash right at Oxford. The rest of the drive looks just fine for us here this morning. I'm not seeing any other significant problems, including to or from the airport. I-70 looks good, 270 getting busier across Commerce City right now.
Los Angeles Rams fans got a little too excited, some of them, after last night's wild finish to Super Bowl 56. LAPD had to respond when crowds swarmed the street. Some of them were climbing light poles and setting off fireworks in the street. So far, no word of any arrests.
Yeah, you knew it was going to be wild when the home team won at their own stadium. As we take a live look at SoFi Stadium in LA this morning, where the lights are still shining bright, much calmer picture this morning, just hours after the Rams come from behind victory with minutes to spare. The final score of the Super Bowl was the Rams 23, Bengals 20.
Yeah, it's the Rams' first Super Bowl title since the 1999 season when they were in St. Louis. The Bengals are now 0-3 in Super Bowl appearances. Broncos country, meanwhile, was well represented during the game. Denver7's Veronica Acosta joins us now in studio. And Veronica, one of the biggest connections, of course, is our Von Miller.
Yeah. And what a season it has been for Von Miller, right? He kicked it off as a Denver Bronco. Then he was traded over to the Rams. That trade, though, got him that second Super Bowl ring. After the game, Miller said yesterday's game, it meant a lot for him for many different reasons.
And I don't think I've ever played for more in my career, man. I was playing for DT. You know, he passed away suddenly in December. I was playing for my son. He was born in August. Playing for Trevor Mowad. He passed away after the very first game of the season. Playing for all of my teammates here. There's so many hard workers, so many talented guys, so many guys on my team that was deserving of this moment, man, and it feels good to give it to them.
And that Rams win, also kind of a win for the Broncos if you think about it that way. That's because two future Broncos coaches are coming to Denver with those Super Bowl rings. That first one, that's Ejiro Evero. He's the new defensive coordinator. And then we have Dwayne Stukes, who's the new special teams coordinator. The hope there, if you're asking, that Super Bowl win experience rubs off just a little bit, at least, on the Broncos. And then, of course, there's one more Colorado connection. We know that one. That's Stan Kroenke. Take a look at him there holding that Lombardi trophy. Kroenke owns the Rams. He also owns the Nuggets, the Avs, and the Rapids here. Of course, that's not all. He owns Dick's Sporting Goods Park and Ball Arena, where he has that penthouse on top. Listen to what he had to say about last night's win and, of course, that team.
Well, it's amazing, and just really proud of this group. And they just hung in there. It was a tough game, and just so proud of them executing at the end like they did.
All right, so all in all, 4 Super Bowl rings coming to Colorado, and that's the Colorado connection.
Yeah. We'll have to put a positive spin on it, Jim. Hopefully it can help the Broncos down the road.
We might have the trophy in that penthouse here at some point.
That's
here.
Right.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's what we're looking forward to.
All right, thank you, Veronica. Well, Vaughn posted this photo of himself on Instagram last night that he has reunited with the Lombardi trophy there. In his caption, he shared how much he's missed having it around and that a lot has changed since 2016, but he says he's excited to show the trophy to his son and said he also has a new city and teammates that will love you just as much as I do.
And the halftime show, wow, unlike any other we've seen.
Low life, your life, but we giving it up.
It's the one and only D.R.E.
Dr. Dre, you little busters.
Hip-hop classics took over the stadium. Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, and Kendrick Lamar all performing their iconic songs with special guests 50 Cent and Anderson .Paak.
Yeah.
It was the first time the Super Bowl featured hip-hop as the main act. And one moment that has a lot of people talking is at the end of his song, Lose Yourself, Eminem took a knee. The gesture, often done in protest of racial injustice, of course made famous by Colin Kaepernick. The league says it was aware Eminem planned to kneel.
They had the whole house dancing, and the only problem was they had so many stars up there. I wish they all played a little bit longer. Yeah. More masks are coming down across the metro this morning. Students in Jefferson County and northern Colorado can return to class mask-free. Denver7's Colette Bordelon is live for us in Boulder this morning, where their health department will discuss ending its mask mandate as well. Colette.
Yeah, that's right. It could all be changing later tonight. Recommendations from Boulder County Public Health are expected at a Board of Health meeting on the city's 2 existing mask orders here in Boulder. Now, those orders require masks in all public indoor spaces for people ages 2 and up. They're also needed in school and childcare settings, along with things like camps for kids. They were put into place in August and September of last year. Right now, Boulder County's website says they're experiencing a high level of transmission of the virus, but once that decreases to moderate or low levels for 21 consecutive days, masks won't be required indoors, unless, of course, a business chooses to keep those rules around. Now, state data shows Boulder County has had 11 days of declining or stable hospital admissions. Their positivity rate just a touch higher than Denver County's. Kids in Denver County will be going back to school without the masks in 2 weeks, and like you guys mentioned, Jeffco kids are going back today without a mask. Live in Boulder, Colette Bordelon, Denver7.
All right, thank you, Colette. Well, if there's one thing the pandemic has taught us, it's to be aware of our own mental health. So as counties and school districts and venues end their mask mandates, Denver7 spoke to a psychologist who said some people may just feel safer keeping theirs on.
So if we feel more comfortable wearing masks, we should absolutely continue wearing masks. If we want that space between ourselves and someone else, we need to create that space, but we can't really impose what we want on the other person. And it goes the same way, the other way around, not to shame someone who wants to keep wearing a mask and throw numbers and research at them as to why this doesn't work or is ineffective or is unnecessary.
Also, she says to just remember to keep a mask in your vehicle or maybe in your jacket pocket because some businesses will still require masks. Lisa.
It is just about 6:10 and it's going to be a beautiful morning. Already seeing a hint of that sunrise, and it's going to be a bright one. At near 60 this afternoon as your kids are getting home from school. Beautiful day today. Coming up here in just a few minutes, we're going to take a closer look at the snow that's moving in. This shot there from City Park is going to look a lot different by early Wednesday morning.
And somebody's reporting somebody else who stopped on northbound I-20 I-25 right by Lincoln Avenue on the northbound side, just before the bridge here. So if the camera was facing the other way, you might be able to see it, but real close to that left lane. So a bit of a hazard coming up from Ridgegate, coming out of Douglas County, heading past Lincoln Avenue. The rest of the drive down here looks okay. Do have a crash on Santa Fe at Oxford that we'll detail for you coming up in just a minute.
Well, we are well into this tax season, but millions of Americans are still waiting on last year's return, the impact of the growing IRS backlog.
Also, a meeting to discuss COVID vaccines for kids under 5 gets pushed back at the last minute. Plus,
I'm John Matarese. We've all seen prices rising lately on name brand products that we buy. But what about store brands? Our surprising findings coming up.
We have some breaking news now at 6:13. Russia's top diplomat is urging Vladimir Putin to continue diplomatic talks with the West instead of military action. Also breaking, Russia's defense minister says some military exercises will come to an end. There were reports that was the plan all along to happen at the end of February. The United States says Russia has 130,000 troops staged along the borders with Ukraine.
as inflation forces us to cut corners, many of us have turned to generic store brands to save a little money. But Denver7's John Matarese explains even those prices are now on the rise.
Many shoppers these days turn to store or house brands to save money. Don't waste your money. I'm John Matarese.
Well, today is Valentine's Day. If you don't have a special someone yet, maybe today is your day to start looking for one.
There's a new dating app in the works called Human that looks to reimagine the online dating experience by putting artificial intelligence in the driver's seat of your love life.
AI is actually what creates the profile. So people actually opt in to allow us to have access to their public and private data. And from there, a profile is created. And we're able to understand who they are based on behavioral data, linguistic data, or even biometric data. So think social media, streaming, viewing, listening habits. And then from there, we actually predict their best potential match.
Whoa.
Wow.
So you can't lie, I guess. Yeah, okay. For more information, head to myhumanapp.com, where you can sign up for a wait list before this launches.
You can always lie.
Yeah.
On those things.
No, you're the one for me. This app says so. Yeah.
You know what? Based on that, it would pair me up with a cowboy that likes Nordstrom.
And there's plenty of those out there.
I'm sure. That's
There's
quite the
hope,
combo.
Lisa, yes.
We've got what's going to be a nice start to our day. Lots of sunshine. Good looking totals. Again, right around 2 to 4 probably for Denver. And then for the mountains and foothills, we're looking at around 3 to 6, if not locally, just a touch more. We'll keep an eye on those totals, but do get ready for a slick Wednesday evening commute. 60 near it today and tomorrow, and then we'll cut those numbers in half on Wednesday. Heading into the weekend, those skies will really start to clear out. We've got much warmer conditions, more melting right after this storm rolls through. By Saturday and Sunday, low to mid, even upper 50s, Jason, it looks like on Sunday.
And we have a couple of trouble spots now. I want to start to the south side of town where we have two different issues. One, we have the southbound side of Santa Fe still closed down here at Oxford, where they're still cleaning up.
We had to fight to get the win today, man. We got a team full of fighters, man. It's an honor and a privilege to be here with all these guys.
They're unbelievable, and they just hung in there. It was a tough game.
Colorado was well represented at Super Bowl 56, where the LA Rams scored late to beat the Bengals 23-20. Von Miller, Stan Kroenke, just a couple of the connections. Welcome back to Denver7 News at 6:30. I'm Nicole Brady.
And I'm Brian Sanders, hoisting the Lombardi Trophy last night. The first Colorado connection at the Super Bowl, of course, owner Stan Kroenke, who owns not only the Rams, but the Nuggets, the Avalanche, and the Rapids here. And he owns the venues like Dick's Sporting Goods Park and Ball Arena, where he even has a penthouse on top. And what a year it's been for Von Miller.
Awesome year. After being traded by the Broncos to the Rams, he got 2 sacks in the big game and earned his second Super Bowl ring.
I just believed it. I believed in Denver. You know, I believed that we was going to be able to get things right and make it to the Super Bowl. And, you know, I've always been optimistic like that. Came here, I had that same belief. You know, I believed in our team, believed in our quarterback, believed in our process and the culture here. And, you know, we just continue to take it one day at a time, 1 week at a time. You know, we fought through adversity. When I first got here, we lost 3 straight. We're able to rally.
It was nice to see him doing so well on the field. 2 future Broncos coaches will also be coming here with a new Super Bowl ring. Ejiro Evero is the Broncos' new defensive coordinator, and Dwayne Stukes will be the special teams coordinator. So Broncos country, of course, is hoping that Super Bowl experience will rub off here. We'll see.
You know, of course, my favorite part of the game, the commercials.
Yeah. When do you go get food? During the game or the commercials?
I got to watch the commercials, yes.
This year, the commercials were filled with nostalgia and a lot of celebrity appearances. Here are some of the most talked about ones. Chevrolet recreated the opening sequence to The Sopranos to advertise its all-electric Silverado pickup. It was Jamie Lynn Sigler who played Meadow Soprano on the show that was in the driver's seat instead of the late James Gandolfini.
The electric vehicle commercials were the best ones of the night. Yeah. Here's a unique one that had people confused, though. Company Coinbase spent its 60 seconds and an estimated $13 million just on this QR code bouncing from corner to corner of the screen. When you scan this, it took you to the Coinbase promotional website offering a limited time promotion of $15 worth of free Bitcoin.
As soon as you pull out your phone to scan the QR code, it's gone. Yeah. So, this one is relatable to Coloradans and our hot housing market. Rocket Mortgage had Anna Kendrick explain to kids about the competitive housing market by using Barbie's dream house and other toys as examples. What did you guys have a most memorable one?
There were a lot of electric car ads.
Yeah,
there were a lot
right? And the Dr. Evil one was
the hot Doritos with the jungle animals that were singing.
Who allowed you to bring a list?
I have a list. The Pringles hand in a can. That was great.
I
wrote it down as I was going. And then the Irish Spring I thought was pretty funny.
Yeah.
I liked Lay's with Seth Rogen and Paul.
Yeah, that was good.
That was a good one, yes.
I didn't need a list.
No, I can't remember this thing. It was like how many hours ago?
Yeah. Love the research.
It was a fun night, though. Beautiful morning, gorgeous yesterday. I mean, I did not get to my grill like I was hoping to. There was too much snow from the Friday storm, and we've got more on the way come Wednesday. But today's sunshine. Look at this shot there in Greeley from UNC. Pretty looking shot. Lots of sunshine out there. Your dog walking forecast is a warm one. Here by about 12 o'clock, we're going to be in the low to mid 50s. Plenty of sunshine. It's going to get warmer today. Highs will be right around 60 degrees in Denver between about 3 and 5 o'clock. So you've got some really pleasant conditions as you head out either this morning or this afternoon. It's chilly early on, but it's going to be about a 30-degree warm-up from our lows to our highs. Denver right around 60. Erie and Boulder, some low to mid 50s. Parker today, a high of 56. 30s and even some 40s for the mountains today. Now, coming up in a few minutes, we're going to take a look at our next storm. Cold front set to hit Tuesday night. A 30-degree cool down on the way, and at this point, around 2 to 4 inches for the metro area. Details on our Super 7 Day in just a few.
We've had a couple of problem spots, unfortunately. One of the latest ones was reported just now on Santa Fe at I-25. It would be right under there. It's going to be under the highway. Southbound and northbound lanes of I-25 are unaffected, but you will see some delays there on Santa Fe. And speaking of Santa Fe, we did have a southbound closure here at Oxford. It looks like traffic is moving through there once again. There's still some delays northbound. Had a pretty serious crash in there where traffic was being diverted, but it looks like traffic's moving through there once again as they continue to clean that up. They're also cleaning up this issue on that northbound side of I-25 where we had, looks like somebody was either stalled out or a little minor crash between Ridgegate and Lincoln Avenue, so it's just an extra minute there. The rest of the drive obviously looks pretty standard for you anywhere you want to go here. Up to the north, though, a big delay southbound I-25 from Highway 34, Johnson's Corner, all the way down to Berthoud. Take a look at the camera up there. Traffic is barely moving. I've been watching these semis not making much a headway as they're trying to get past a crash right before Berthoud. So maybe 287 down to Berthoud and then back over to I-25 could save you some time.
Aurora's City Council will discuss a controversial proposal today to build a shopping center and apartments along Quincy Avenue at Parker Road. Denver7's Christian Lopez joins us live this morning because, Christian, the mayor actually put off a vote on the city's camping ban because he's expecting a lot of community feedback on this new development.
Yeah, he wanted to allow more time to discuss the appeal that was filed by residents who are against this project. The complex would go in this area. You can see vacant buildings behind me. This is on Parker Road and Quincy Avenue. It would have 311 units. Now, these renderings right here show what the apartment complex would look like. The building would replace the portion of empty businesses in the East Bank shopping area. This struggling retail spot once had a lot more shops open, but they've since closed. The city says making this into a more residential neighborhood would help businesses that are still here. A lot of people have spoken out against this development because they're worried about the size of it and it potentially displacing longtime businesses. There are also concerns about traffic. One commenter said, quote, "This is a bad idea. There hasn't been any improvement to the already horrible traffic issues at Parker and Quincy, and adding an additional 300 plus cars will make it nearly impossible to resolve," end quote. So a lot of people are worried about the potential impacts, but at the last meeting about this, a traffic study showed cars to and from the complex would make up less than 1% of traffic here on South Parker Road. And the city expects to hear from people who are on both sides of the issue, who are both for and against this project. But so far, there have been 500 signatures on a petition against it. We are live in Aurora. I'm Christian Lopez, Denver 7.
Interesting to see what comes out of the meeting tonight. All right, thank you, Christian. Colorado Senator Michael Bennett's push to make Camp Amachi an historic site might have hit a roadblock. Utah Senator Mike Lee has opposed the bill. According to the Colorado Sun, he's against adding new federal lands without adequate funding. The Amachi Historic Site Act would make the former World War II Japanese internment camp part of the national park system.
Tens of thousands of people are driving by a new tunnel project every day, but they can't see the work that's being done.
Well, our traffic expert Jayson Luber went behind the scenes to get pictures from inside this construction zone. And of course, we're talking about Central 70.
Yeah, because it was, remember, 9 months ago that we opened up the eastbound, westbound side of the tunnel, which eventually this will be the westbound side of I-70. And this is the area we're talking about right here, this project right near the Coliseum and the Purina plant. And it has been 9 months since that first tunnel opened on the Central 70 project between Clayton and Columbine. But since then, they've been working on this second tunnel right here. Take a look at the work that's being done right next to the first tunnel. But because of the construction walls there, it's really hard to see inside that second tunnel. So Central 70 shared some of these pictures with us. They've hollowed out that space, and now they're working on the electrical systems and the other systems inside of that tunnel. But there's still a lot of work left to finish. So we don't have the opening date just yet. And when this tunnel opens, eastbound traffic will move into that new tunnel, and westbound will use the current tunnel, and that'll make room for the express toll lane and a wider shoulder. Now, work is also continuing on the new cover on top of the tunnel. There's also paving and other work going on. And when this is all finished, it will be a 4-acre park that includes an amphitheater, a soccer fields, and other amenities, really connecting the two sides of I-70, the neighborhoods, once again. Now, this construction timeline says that traffic will be in its final configuration later on this year, with the finishing work on the road and that park continuing into next year.
That park will be awesome. All right, thank you, Jayson. Mountain rescue groups are reminding us not to get complacent about avalanche safety. A man triggered an avalanche on the west side of Loveland Pass over the weekend when he cut across a steep slope before the ridge. And the Summit County Rescue Group says he took an estimated 200 to 300 foot ride in the debris, including a 50-foot drop off a cliff. Thankfully, he was skiing with his mom, who was able to find him in about 10 minutes, and he only had minor injuries.
Processing the destruction of the Marshall Fire has been especially tough on kids who lost their homes. Community Foundation Boulder County announced more than $500,000 in grants for mental health support. Some of that money will get students in Boulder Valley schools the help they need, paying for 4 mental health advocates for the next 18 months. More than 1,000 Boulder Valley school students were displaced by the Marshall Fire. And this weekend, hundreds of Marshall Fire victims got the opportunity to pick out thousands of brand new items. It was all thanks to the Black Lab Sports Warehouse in Boulder, which teamed up with dozens of other businesses and organizations to make sure that those who lost their homes could pick out some items that they need. Around 1,000 people signed up for the event. Organizers say everyone involved in putting it together either knows someone who was impacted or was impacted themselves, and they wanted to give back. Lisa.
It is now just about 6:40. Beautiful start to our week. Not very February-like. We're going to hit highs right around 60 degrees in Denver today. Low 50s near Fort Collins and Greeley. 40s, a lot of 40s for the mountains. Coming up, it's going to be just as warm tomorrow, but we're tracking a midweek storm. I'll show you when that snow is going to develop and how much we're expecting at this point coming up.
Speaking of Fort Collins and Greeley, if you guys use Highway 34 to get to I-25 and then head south down towards Bertha, don't. This is a huge crash up there that still has traffic just trickling through there right now. So some of the other side roads, maybe 287, maybe Highway 85 to get south into Denver, but you have a really big traffic jam from basically Highway 34 all the way through Berthoud right now.
The city of Boulder is considering several new gun violence prevention measures, the impact they would have on open carry laws.
Plus another Olympic first, the latest Team USA athlete to make history.
Welcome back at 6:43. Here's what's making headlines across the country this morning. Rudy Giuliani could testify before the House January 6th committee. ABC News reports the former advisor to President Donald Trump is in active talks about cooperating. Giuliani was subpoenaed by the committee last month to appear for an interview last week, but his appearance was rescheduled. The busiest U.S.-Canada border crossing is reopened this morning after police cleared protesters. Groups of truckers protesting COVID-19 restrictions closed the Ambassador Bridge between Ontario. Time is 6:51. Here's a quick look at our top local stories ahead of Good Morning America. Boulder City Council is working on several gun violence prevention measures ahead of the anniversary of the shooting at King Soopers.
Denver7's Colette Bordelon joins us in Boulder this morning. Colette, the proposals cover a wide range of topics from prohibiting open carry to even reinstating the assault weapons ban.
Yeah, that's right, Nicole. It's a package of legislation. The Boulder Daily Camera reports it.
NFL MVP Aaron Rodgers. ESPN reports the Packers are ready to go all in to keep him in Green Bay next season. Packers management is ready to offer Rodgers a contract extension that would make him the highest paid quarterback in the league. Rodgers said he would make a decision soon on whether he stays in Green Bay, retires, or asks for a trade. Lisa.
Now it's 6:55. We've got a beautiful start to our Monday morning. We're going to be at about 60 degrees in Denver this afternoon, 30s, even 40s for the mountains. A lot of sunshine today, a little increase in cloud cover tomorrow, and then a cold front that hits Tuesday night. So Tuesday night into Wednesday, the winds are really going to kick up. We're going to see snow developing. It's going to continue throughout the day on Wednesday. And look at those temps, Jayson. A good 30 degrees colder by Wednesday afternoon.
And we do have this one crash on northbound Santa Fe right at I-25, blocking up 2 of the 3 lanes. And so 1 lane is getting through and traffic is heavy coming up from after Mississippi. Probably not worth an alternate route at this point. Take a look at the big problem up to the north, I-25, the southbound side. Well over an hour on this delay. Big time delays going down towards Berthoud with this crash here. Coming out of Fort Collins or coming out of Loveland or Greeley, you're going to want to use some alternate routes down to Highway 56 if you can. The rest of the drive looks pretty standard for you, including up on Highway 36.
Well, Valentine's Day is all about love, and how we love could impact our overall health.
Here's Dr. James Rouse with the Human Grace Project.
Hello, it's James with the Human Grace Project. I love anthropology. Happy Valentine's Day. Much love.
Important things to keep in mind today. Good Morning America starts right now. For more local news, weather and traffic, make the switch to our sister station, Local 3.
Yeah, while many counties are relaxing their pandemic restrictions in Colorado, we're looking at the likelihood that the federal government will soon follow. That's coming up on Local 3. We're there every weekday morning from 7 to 9. It's Channel 3 on most cable and satellite services. So switch over now and we'll see you there. Have a great day.